name is Tomas Anker Christensen. I'm a diplomat from Denmark, and I've served as chef de cabinet, chief of staff, head of office for the 70th and 71st presidents of the General Assembly, the 70th from Denmark, Mogens Lykketoft, and the 71st from Fiji, Peter Thomsen. The General Assembly is one of the key institutions of the UN in the UN Charter, along with the Security Council and the Secretary General, and of course also the Economic and Social Council. And as the Security Council has started to have difficulties addressing key situations, the weight of the General Assembly has grown, and more countries are focusing on action through the General Assembly, especially countries that would like to be permanent members of the Security Council but haven't had access, or also larger groups of countries both from the north and the south and across the north-south divide. And they have started cooperating more and are giving more and more mandates and requests to the President to take action, and thus have trust in him or her that they can deliver more action in the benefit of all member states. The process of selecting the last Secretary General, the 9th, had, as an innovation, divided the selection process into 3 phases. An identification and interview part, then the Security Council deliberations, and then finally the selection by the General Assembly. And the President of the General Assembly had been empowered to run the first and the third piece of this. And the member states had entrusted him to also design how to run the identification and interview phase, including the dialogues with the General Assembly. And it's my impression that the member states were very happy about the way that happened. Now the challenge is to make sure that the innovation and the transparency, inclusivity that was used in that process also becomes a permanent fixture of future selection processes. Well, first I think the selection of the President himself should be looked at. Right now it's a rotation, 1 year apiece for the 5 regional groups of the UN. I think it could become a more competitive process, maybe if the term was a bit longer, 2 or 3 years, and then all member states could apply to become president for that term, as is the case now for Secretary General. If that were the case, then that strengthened president would also need an office that is more institutionalized, that is has more continuity. But even if that didn't happen, I think the current office still needs more continuity, that is longer contracts with the staff, more staff paid on the UN budget than the current 5, more specialized staff. You could have more continuity, for example, in the legal advisor, the advisor in charge of outreach to civil society and the private sector, communications, and even the chief of staff, who is the one helping the president run the office. And then the budget needs to be adjusted. The current budget was set in 1997, when the tasks of the president were much different and fewer than they are today. And a realistic budget, given the kind of sub-budget that presidents have had for the past few years, would be in the $1 to $2 million range.